Welcome back to Beneath the Veil. I'm your host, Jacob Kennedy, and this is a My Wedding Magazine podcast. Now, I put my hand up to plan me and my partner's dream wedding, so we're not getting a wedding planner involved at the moment. I'm it, and there is a lot to plan. And now that there's a deadline in place, there's a bit of pressure, but I'm not too stressed about it because we do have time on our side at the moment. We do have a bit of time, and that is one thing that I would highly recommend is if you're planning your own wedding or have a specific vision in mind for your big day, make sure you give yourself the time to plan, to save, to prep, and also so you can enjoy the process and make those timeless decisions. So it's not a rushed, on-the-fly decision. You know, these are timeless decisions for you and your partner that you both will enjoy, and you can put that detail and love into everything. Today's a bit of fun. We're talking about what to wear. There's a lot that goes into this. Comfort or fashion? Trend or timeless? For me, I've been dabbling in research for a while now, and I know what I want. But the difficult thing is, it's not traditional. The store racks just don't offer it. As soon as I came across a photo, though, of this jacket, I knew then and there, that's it. I can see myself in that jacket. I want to wear it. How I know that is that I found it about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's been sitting in my wedding folder ever since, and it hasn't changed. But what do you do when you can't find it online or it's not in stores, you know? Or you want details added, subtracted, or you just want something custom? Well, I'll tell you what to do. You go bespoke. Now, I'm a huge believer in everything happens for a reason. People come into your life at the right time. And just to paint a bit of a picture of this, we did a photo shoot a couple of months ago for My Wedding Magazine. It was fabulous. The photos are stunning, and we were looking for a wedding dress designer for the shoot. And this is where I met the talented Sarah Stoute from Sarah Stoute Bespoke. I had no idea she did menswear. The dresses, she predominantly does wedding dresses, and her designs are jaw-dropping. I highly, highly, highly recommend you check out her website, sarahstoutebespoke.com. At the time, I was just about to get engaged, and I let it slip with my big mouth, and she was wondering if I'd thought about what I was going to wear. So I brought up a photo, and it just kind of all fell into place from there. I found my dream designer. But what I want to find out is what goes into a bespoke design. What is the process? And how far in advance do I need to book her in? Well, let's find out because she's here on the show with me today. Hey, welcome, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me, mate.
Thank you so much for having me on. How exciting.
Could you tell me a little bit about how you started Sarah Stoute Bespoke?
Yeah, so I have been sewing for like 17 years now, so quite a while, and worked in an array of different sort of things that have brought me eventually to this point. I've always loved wedding dresses, and my theory when starting this business was to create something that every day I work on something that I love. So, hey, working on beautiful wedding dresses every day is absolutely exactly what I've always wanted. So yeah, why not create a business like that? So yeah, so we do alterations on wedding dresses. We make them from scratch, which is my absolute dream. It's what I've always loved to do, but obviously you can't do that all the time because I think I'd go a bit crazy. And yeah, we also do remakes. We work on vintage gowns. We do take on the odd bridesmaid here and there. But yeah, mainly wedding dresses.
As soon as I met you, I was like, oh my gosh, and you told me a little bit about your background with menswear, and I didn't want to kind of impose the first time I saw you and be like, hey, would you be into making this? Because what I have in mind, as you've seen, is a little bit different. It's a little bit out of the box. And what I notice about men's fashion is you kind of walk, and there's nothing wrong with this, but you walk into, a suit shop and it's all kind of same. Like there's nothing that really is like this about.
Yeah, I find that when I was a menswear designer, it's very cookie cutter. Men are dressed 90% by the time by their partners, and so therefore there is not that much imagination around it, unfortunately. And men also just don't care that much. So like, cool, that's your thing, but like, when you walked in and you chatted about what you want, you showed me some images, and then you left, I actually went home and said to my husband, you must see what this man wants. This is like all my exciting dreams come true, because I'm always looking for something completely alternative, different, pushes me, excites me, luxurious. Like that's what I want. Like I want to continue to move the bar. And so when I saw your images, I was like, oh, that. How do you think? But yeah, at that stage you weren't even engaged, so I couldn't be crazy and be like, hey, so what you doing? What are you
I think
thinking?
I think I just dropped it into conversation the next time we met. I was like, hey, just by any chance, would you be into making menswear? And then, the ball just started rolling, which was perfect. And
I must also say is I do not make boring suits. So like any men that might be listening, absolutely not. Sorry. You could go find your suit somewhere else. But like if you're going with something exciting, absolutely give me a holler.
I'm so excited. So what drew you to like fashion design and bespoke clothing? What kind of pulled you into that arena away from menswear?
Yeah, so to start off with, my aunt who taught me how to sew, she is a dress designer in South Africa. And so she it's quite strange in South Africa. Nobody buys off the rack for your weddings, your ball dresses, everything is made bespoke. So in South Africa, a bespoke gown is not as like outlandish as what it is here. And I don't even know why, but it just is. Like I know all my ball dresses that I've worn were all made for me by designs that I had in my head, like, and everyone's like that. So it was never different. And then when I came here, I sort of realized that, oh, okay, so a lot of people buy off the rack, and bespoke is something that's like really like not often do people find a place that can do it, or they really struggle to get their ideas and thoughts onto paper, where because everyone does it in South Africa, we're sort of like really open to that and we sort of know how it works, whereas here it's like some people come in and they go, but what if I don't like it when you make it? Or what if I don't, what if I change my mind? Like there's sort of that fear around it almost. But I also found that it was something that wasn't offered. And it's something that really excites me, to have something made to fit your body, your dimensions, your vision, bringing different fabrics and threads together to create exactly what you had in mind. That's the ultimate excitement to me. So I definitely, when I came to New Zealand, I was like, oh, I feel like this is something that I could really do. Very long time ago, but I didn't even nearly put it into motion until only a few years ago. But it's now something that, and not everyone is a bespoke person, and I totally get that, but it's definitely something that the people that I do work with really love, the fact that they are there every single step of the way. And that's what I love. We get to choose every single step all the way through, and that's really exciting. It's like a piece of art.
Oh, it absolutely is a piece of art. So with the whole process of that, like, where does it start? Do people come in with ideas, or do they, I guess some people would have ideas, some people not so much. How do you kind of train them through that?
So usually it starts off with, you sort of have a few different types of brides. The first bride who's tried on 3 billion dresses and can't find the one, or a bride that hates the idea of trying on anything and wants to just create something that she feels comfortable with straight off the bat. Or the other bride is someone who's maybe had the opportunity to buy anything she wants and would rather make sure that it's perfect by making it herself. So you get a few different types of people, but they usually come with some sort of idea. Even if it's like snippets of different images or snippets of different ideas or videos or Pinterest boards, and together we sit and basically come up with a meshed idea of kind of what they're after. So that, I've kind of got to get into their heads and really like draw out every single detail to make sure that they are sort of telling themselves the truth. So I might go, are you sure about that neckline? Because you don't want to show this, or you want to show that, or if you choose that back, you can't choose that neckline, or whatever it is. And then we hash out the whole thing. And often it's a case of me basically explaining what's not possible and what is possible, which you wouldn't know if you didn't have a garment technical background. So Yeah, so, but I mean, it's great because then they can really go, oh no, I really hated that. So I definitely wouldn't want that. And I wouldn't have known that unless we'd had this whole conversation. So it's definitely a back and forth. But yeah, they usually send through a few images, sometimes even images that aren't even wedding dresses. And I come together and put together like a mood board of images that ask them questions, but also make sure I'm on the same page.
Gotcha. So, well, okay, so I need to send you some images. I mean, to be fair, it's not till 2028, so we've got a few years of planning and all of that.
We'll
On
probably
that,
morph and change about 400 times before then.
so true, and I plan to lose a bit of weight too. So, don't we all?
Every bride.
So actually, on that, what would you consider like a late order, and what would you consider too early?
So it's definitely super dependent on the garment. The reason I say this is because I've had brides come to me 4 months out and they want something, and I know that I can do it in that time frame because we're based on maybe it's the time of year, or maybe they're choosing just very simple fabrics, very simple design, or whatever it is. So I do typically need 6 to 8 months, but I also only take on a certain number of bookings. So getting yourself booked in and basically having that slot, even if you are a year, 2 years out, because I've already got 2027 brides booked in, it's really good to keep that spot, because once I've booked you in, I cannot take another bride within that time frame. I do all the sewing myself, so I can't physically sew any more than that. So I know where my limitations are. And so I have some brides that go, oh, like you, it's so many years away, and which it absolutely is. But if, for example, you're a January 2027 bride, I already have a January 2027 bride booked in. So unfortunately, that is no longer an option for the years to come. So that's kind of where the whole idea of bespoke and getting it made for you by me is making sure that you do book in advance. The same time, like I do sometimes have gaps, like weird gaps where, for example, this year, December, I've got brides booked in November, I've got brides booked in January, but nothing in December, which now I'm like, oh, why don't I? But also I'm like, there's so many other things on the go. It's probably a good thing. But if I had a bride come and say to me now, I've got a December wedding, could you make me something? And it looks like this, and I'm able to do it in time, I'm happy to then make sure that I can get it done.
So what is your favorite part of the job, or have you had any like memorable moments? Is there any like part of the process that you really look forward to every time?
I think it's so funny because you say that, and my immediate thought is, oh my gosh, I just stressed the whole time that I'm not gonna like have exactly what they had in mind, and that's where my brain immediately goes. But at the same time, I think of each fitting, and I just love the fact that the brides get to really create this with me. So I don't feel like I'm just creating something, handing it over, and letting someone, I touch it from the very beginning to the very end. And I think just basically creating something that they had in their brains that they didn't quite think was possible, which is so exciting. So for example, I had a bride last season, and she is a dancer, and she wanted something that would morph with her for the evening, because she said, I bought this dress, I want to wear it as much as possible. Like I wanted to build with me and grow with me as the night continues. And so what we did was we created a beautiful draped front dress with this really beautiful full skirt with lots of pleats and things. And then the skirt unclipped from the waist, and there was a mini little fully beaded skirt underneath that she could dance the night away in. And she just loved the fact that she got to wear her dress the whole night, essentially. It wasn't just wearing one dress, getting it off and wearing another dress. She got to wear her dress the whole night. And that's the kind of thing that she was like, I've never seen it before. I don't even know if it's possible. Do you think it's possible? I want something I can dance in. I dance all the time. We've got a really elaborate first dance that I want to make sure that I can do the flips and lifts and all these kinds of things. What do you think? And so it was really cool to be able to create that out of her brain, which I haven't seen before, which is really cool and really exciting. And yeah, so I just feel like every step of the way, creating something that doesn't exist is just really exciting.
There must be such satisfaction in seeing the photos afterwards as well, and seeing them in those dresses and just going, I did that. Like, that's so cool.
And I think just having that moment of like, I nailed it. Like I met the brief, you know, like that's essentially what you're trying to do. And happy bride is all we want in this world. So yeah, no, it's great. I absolutely love it.
Just before I let you go, for brides who are, they've tried different bridal shops, they don't know where to start, they don't know what to get, or guys who go to, a suit shop and they see the same and they want something a bit different, what would you say to them?
First of all, go and try on dresses or suits. Go and try on as many different styles as possible, because my theory is if it's out there, go and buy it and I will alter it. But if it's not, that's where I come in. So definitely go and try things. Keep your mind open. Instead of thinking, a lot of brides think, oh, I need to have something that lives forever, stays beautiful forever, is always going to be on trend. Like, I wish people would just stop thinking that. I want you to rather think, I want to create something and I want to bring out something that is exactly me at that time. Something that really encompasses that moment in my life. It doesn't have to be worn forever. Nothing in this world do we love for 60 years. But I can assure you right now, the memories you make on your wedding day, you will love for 60 years because it's your wedding day. So stop trying to stick into the cookie cutter of what you're expected to do and allow yourself to just enjoy creating something that actually authentically feels like you.
I love that. Oh, that's perfect. I was just going to say, go see Sarah. So, yeah, absolutely. No, thank you so much. This has been so informative, and I'm just so excited to get the process underway, and I'll send you some photos after this. But for anyone that wants to see some of Sarah's work, they want to book in a session, and I highly recommend you do before she's booked out. You can head over to her website, which is sarahstoutebespoke.com. Also, Sarah Stoute Bespoke on Instagram, Facebook. So make sure you connect. This podcast is available on Spotify and YouTube and comes out every Friday. So we'll see you then.